Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2019 horror thriller Hallowed Ground, a film that is written and directed by Miles Dolayek, who also stars in the film, and it stars Sherry Eakin, Lindsay Ann Williams, Richie Montgomery, Mindy Van Kuren. Now then, this is a film that focuses on a female married couple, Vera and Alice, who are having marital problems, so they decide to go away on vacation together to this countryside house that has had problems in the past in regards to some kind of land dispute with its neighbours, and its neighbours are like white Americans, and this land where they've gone to take this vacation on is run and owned by Native Americans, Red Indians if you like. And there's a little bit right at the beginning of the film that tries to explain away this land dispute, and essentially, to cut a long story short, after this land dispute, the two properties are divided with barbed wire and big signs everywhere saying "keep out", and this is explained to this married couple when they arrive at this holiday location, which is a very strange holiday location if you ask me, especially when you consider the consequences when you cross over into the neighbour's property area, which they do. Unfortunately, this married couple, they don't really cross over it. One of them slips and cuts her hand on the barbed wire and just literally gets through onto the property by mistake. It was an accident sort of thing. But because of this ancient I don't know, agreement between the two sides, anybody that from their land that encroaches on the other's land, the people on that land have decided what they can do with them or to them. It's ridiculous, really. And there's this weird religious cult on the other side, the Barnums, run by Bill, who is the director, Miles Dolayek, and they decide they're not going to take too kindly to this married couple encroaching on their property grounds, and they decide to, they're going to do nasty things to them. And this guy that turns up, who is the problem in the marriage, there was an affair took place, and this guy turns up out of nowhere to confront one of them, and he gets embroiled in it as well. I'm giving a long-winded explanation here for what is actually a quite simple story, and to be honest, the film doesn't really deserve that much of a long-winded explanation. Because it's not that good, if I'm honest. This film, it's watchable. It's competently made. I'll give it that. The idea is interesting enough, if not particularly well explored in this film. The film itself is way too long. It's almost 2 hours long. Its pacing is shocking, really poor pacing. So there's nothing happens for a long time, and when it does happen, even that is paced really slowly. There's people get captured and then they escape really easily. There's betrayals take place that you can see coming a mile away. The leader of the cult, who happens to be the director of the film, and I'm sorry if you see this, but you didn't write your character particularly well, because you made him out to be a bit thick, a bit stupid and naive, and yeah, it's just a pretty dull film with an interesting idea, with some occasional questionable acting taking place. I know with smaller budget films you can't afford to do take after take after take, but I think a little bit more polish on some of the scenes I think would have gone a long way here. And crucially, I didn't really buy this relationship between this female married couple, Vera and Alice. I didn't buy in to their relationship and the problems they were having, and I'm sorry, but the guy who turned up, who was the thorn in their side, who was the reason for the affair, It was such a slime ball. I failed to understand how any woman would fall for him, especially woman in a marriage with another woman, you know. So it just didn't make an awful lot of sense. He was a complete and utter slime ball, and then we were supposed to buy into the fact that they didn't want anything to happen to him either. Well, he was a scumbag and a slime ball, and I was quite happy to see him getting captured and tortured by this strange religious cult. So I don't know really. It didn't do an awful lot for me, this film. I've seen an awful lot worse. I have to be honest, but it just didn't grab me. I felt there were too many problems with the film. But like I say, it is competently made with the small budget that it's got, and it's mildly interesting for those of you who like horrors like this. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. I do think it could have been much better. I do think there's areas they could have improved on with the film. Definitely shave off at least 20-25 minutes and speed up the pacing of the film, and a few more takes here and there in regards to improving on this acting in some of the scenes, because I don't think the actors involved, generally speaking, were poor actors. I just think some of the scenes were potentially rushed here and there. So that is my review for Hallowed Ground. I hope you found it useful, and of course I will see you next time on Screen Stars.